So this is the unit test for filling and wrapping. First question, and we have gone through the we're going through equations and stuff. Right. So we've already established that the surface area of a rectangular prism is right here. So we're moving on to the next question. Surface area of a cylinder. Now the surface area of a cylinder is composed of 2 circles and 1 rectangle. So I'm going to look for something that has the equation for 2 circles, pi r squared times 2, and then a rectangle as well. So here we go. 2 times pi times r squared, so there's 2 circles. Diameter times pi is the circumference, which is the long side of my cylinder, and times the height. So I'm pretty sure this one is right, so I'm going to slide this up. Now obviously I have one more to go. All right. The surface area of any prism is going to be the sum of all the areas of the faces. Essentially, I'm adding all the faces together. The volume of any prism, well, that's just going to be the area of the base times the height for all prisms. And so your equation is going to vary based on the shape of the base. The volume of a rectangular prism is going to be the area of the base times the height, so that's length times width times your height. So we have length times width times height, which is right here. All right. Since I'm recording this, go in the hall. All right. So the volume of a cone, volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. So that's right here, and where's the area of the base? I put it in the wrong place. That's what tape was going to say. All right, so the volume of a cone is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is going to be a circle, so that's pi r squared. So I have 1/3 pi r squared times, oh, that's already there. That's really, really convenient. The volume of a pyramid is very similar to the volume of a cone, except the pyramid is going to have the base. Now, in that case, this is a rectangular base. If it's a triangular base, then you have to find the area of a triangle and whatnot. But it is the area is the volume of the prism that would enclose the pyramid, and the pyramid is only going to be 1/3 of that volume. The volume of a sphere, well, that's 3 dimensions, so we know we're going to have the r to the 3rd power, 4/3 pi r cubed. And that leaves the volume of the cylinder right here. All right, moving on to the next problem. Excuse me? Okay. Moving straight ahead review. All right, so we are going to solve. And the first A and B is a really successful problem for most people. We have train tracks. 5x minus 28 is equal to -3. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is add 28. So let's add 28, add 28. So we get 5x is equal to 25. Well, what's the opposite of multiplying x by 5? So I'm going to divide by 5 divided by 5. And so I get x is equal to 5. Can you do the keyboard? Can you enter it in the keyboard? Yeah. All right, excellent. So moving on to the next problem. Same basic strategy. 10 minus 3x is equal to 7x minus 10. So what I like to do here is I like to get the x's together first so that they're on one side of the equal sign so that they really can just have a big old party together. Who doesn't love an X party? It's not quite as fun as a knitting party, though. Not many things. All right, so we are going to, what are we going to do to move this negative 3x? What is the best strat? I want another color. That blue. Okay. Ava? Let's add 3x. And so I end up with 10 on the left side is equal to 10x minus 10. All right, what's my next step to get the x's all by themselves? Izzy?
Add 10.
Let's add 10. So I get 20 is equal to 10x. What is my next step? My next step? Charlie? That's right, we're dividing by 10. Dividing by 10. And so we get x is equal to 2. Oh yeah. You're the designated that was easy button man, so you might want to get that closer to you. Good morning. I have two things that I've printed and that are on the photocopy machine in the office that I do need right away.
Okay. So is it just like will be obvious? Is it just
It'll look like this. But it'll have an E instead of a M. But if you can get them right away, that would be really helpful.
do you just need a copy?
I just need them.
Just need the paper.
Just need the papers. Yes.
That's 0.5.
Okay, thank you. All right. So now moving on to the next problem. We have find the equation of the line, where m is equal to 1/2 and b is equal to 0, 5. Now, we know that in slope-intercept form, we're going to have y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope, and slope is described as rise over run. And b is equal to the y-intercept. And this problem is actually fairly straightforward and easy because it tells us our m and our b. The only tricky thing is it gave us our b in the form of a coordinate point. Our b value is going to be the y value for that coordinate point. Therefore, we should have entered 1/2 times x, but that's already there, plus 5. So I think what I'll do is I'll select it and you just do the typing. All right. So the next one, we have an m value, but instead of giving us our y-intercept, we have a point. Now there are a couple ways you could do this. The first way would be to take a grid, 2, 2, and then you know that your slope is 3, so to work backwards, we would go down 3, 1, 2, 3, over 1, and then do it again. 1, 2, 3, over 1, and I would find that my y-intercept would be 0, negative 5. Negative 4. That's right. Negative 4. But there's another way. I will show you the other way. The other way, we would have y is equal to 2x plus b. And I have an x and a y value right here. So instead of x, I'm going to write 2. That's right. Excuse me? Oh my goodness. I'm having troubles today. Let's start over again. I can write y is equal to 3x plus b. I'm stuck in the world of 2. And the y-intercept is 3 because of this. And so we have our x and our y value. Instead of x, I can write
2, 3.
If I have an x, which is 2, and a y that is 2, what can I substitute instead of x? 2.
Oh my god.
So we have 3 times 2 plus b. Thank you very much. Tanner, this is what you're doing. Just go in the hall. All right. And instead of y, what can I use instead of y? 1, 2, 3. 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. So we have 2 is equal to 6 plus b. What's the opposite of positive 6? So subtract 6, and I get 4 is equal, negative 4 is equal to b. So therefore, I have a y, in my equation, I have y is equal to 3, because that's what it says, x minus 4. All right. Next question. Now we have a line that passes through these 2 points. This is significantly more challenging, and there are a couple ways that I could do this. The first one is I could take a grid and I can graph it. 5, 2 is going to be somewhere over here. 1, 10 is going to be way up here. And I could connect the dots and I could find my slope and y-intercept. So let's go ahead and find our slope here, and we'll use our grid. What is the vertical change to go from 10 to 2? What did I do, Luke? I went down 8. I subtracted 8. What is my horizontal change from 1 to 5? Thank you for raising your hand, Liam. I added 4. And remember when I said that slope is equal to rise over run. What is my rise in this case? Negative 8. What is my run? So I have a slope of negative 2. Well, now I have a problem just like this problem. I have my slope, and I have 2 points. So let's go ahead and write y is equal to negative 2x plus b. Now using my graph, I could go over 1 and up 2, and I'd get a y-intercept of 0, 12. Or I could take one of these 2 points, realize that we have a x, y value, and what's my x value?
1.
So instead of x, I'm going to write 1. Okay. So I have negative 2 times 1 plus b is equal to, and what's my y value? 10. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. What's the opposite of subtracting 2?
Adding 2.
And so I get 12 is equal to b. Oh, that's the same thing. So then in my blank, all right, last part of the problem. Miss Curley is starting a dance company and creates 2 different ways of for people to pay. Option 1 is an unlimited pass, that's any number of dance classes for $150 a month. Option 2 requires $28 monthly processing fee plus $18 per class. What is the minimum number of dance classes in a month that would make option 1, a better deal. All right, so we know that option 1 is cost is equal to 150. Option 2, we have the equation cost is equal to 28 plus my $18 per lesson. Well, when the costs are the same, C is equal to C, correct? So what I really want to know is, when is 28 plus 18L equal to 150? So what's the opposite of positive 28? So let's subtract 28 from both sides. And I get 122 is equal to 18L. So now we'll divide by 18, and I get 6 point, okay, is equal to L. But I can't pay for 6 point of something of a class, right? So at the 7th class, the whole thing becomes cheaper. All right, thank you. All right, let's go on to the next problem. Miss Yema and her fish tank. Obviously, her fish tank is now empty, and the fish are all living with Miss Paval, which is probably, ironically, the right place, because Mrs. Paval is the one who got us the fish tank in the first place, and then didn't want it and gave it to Yema. It's funny how the whole world works in that way. All right, so she would like to put the catfish in her fish tank up for a school auction. Obviously, she can't weigh the fish on a scale while it's alive, so she devises another way of finding the weight of the fish. Miss Yema marks the height of the water in the with the catfish in the tank. Then she takes the catfish out of the tank and marks the new height of the water, and finally tosses the catfish back in the water so it doesn't die. Nobody wants a long dead catfish for the Slavin's auction. That's not good. Her 50-gallon tank has a length of 36, a width of 19, and a height of 20 inches. The water height fell 3/4 of an inch when the fish was removed. So, okay, so that means we essentially have a little box of water that came out, that left the tank, so to speak, or fell. And so we have 3/4, that's a 3, 3/4 of an inch high. And then we also have a length of 37, a width of 19. And the height in this case is just extra information, because the height of the water that was displaced was 3/4 of an inch. So now it is time to figure out the cubic inches. So I pull up my calculator, maybe. Okay, apparently I do not pull up my calculator, so I need some help from the audience. All right, so 37 times 19. 730?
703.
703. Okay, 703. Because like 9 times 7 is not a 0. All right, and then we multiply it by the 3/4.
We get 547.25.
0.25, is that the last decimal? Okay, so now it asks how much water was displaced, does the fish displace? And it says round to the nearest cubic inch. Well, in this case, this is less than 5, right? So it's going to be 527. Questions so far? Okay. So then the next step, it asks you if the cubic inch, if a cubic inch of water weighs this amount of pounds, then how much does the fish weigh? Round your answer to the nearest pound. So that means I'm going to multiply this wonderful number by 127, and I get an answer of just over 19 pounds. I think it's like 19.03 or something like that. That's enough, thank you, Zach. So, to the nearest pound, that would be a 19-pound fish. That is a big catfish. All right. Next problem. Find the surface area and volume of a rectangular hexagonal prism. The area of the base is 30.6 square centimeters. Huh. Well, that's not super helpful unless I look at this. I can't see that. What should I do? I should probably click on the words. Oh, that makes life a whole lot easier.
Wow.
Okay, so all of the side lengths are 6 centimeters, and I have a height of 9. And I need to find the surface area and the volume of this, right? Okay, so I'm going to change my pen to white if I can see white. No, that's... Oh, look at that! Sweet! All right, best day ever. I always think of Rapunzel. This is the best day ever. Oh, I'm such a bad daughter. All right. So it said that the area of the base was 30.6. And I know it's the area of the base times the height. So we have 30.6 times 9, which gives me a grand total of, come on, folks. Yes, Parker?
385.
Parker?
275.
Okay. Now we're going to hold on to that one, because obviously I'm not on the right screen to enter the answer. And so now we are going to find the surface area. Now this is a hexagon, so there are 6 sides, and each side is going to be 6 by 9, which means I have 6 sides that have an area of 54 square centimeters. 6 times 54 is?
324.
324. All right, not too bad. And the area of the base was 30.6, and I have 2 of them. So let's add those things together. So I get 0.2, carry the 1, 5, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Excuse me?
I said 61.2 plus 100.
And so then we have 3 over here. And so we have 385.2 centimeters squared. Now let's hold on to those right now, so everyone have witnesses. That's what I have, and we're going to need help. Ella, are you ready to help us? You sound almost excited to. Thank you. That was embarrassing. So my surface area, rounded to the nearest tenth, is
275. Wait, no, it's not. It's 380.
Zach, what is it?
275.4.
275.4.
That's the volume.
Oh, I know that.
All right, well, let's do volume.
Yeah, 385.2.
I said 385.2, and then you said, no, what's the surface area? Oh, 385.2.
All right, moving on. All right. A pizzeria sells a round pizza with a diameter of 16 inches. Another pizzeria serves a square pizza with side lengths of 15 inches. Use 3.14 for pi. Should I use the pi key?
No.
No! All right. Does the round or square pizza give you more? So we have 2 different shapes. We have a square pizza And we have a round pizza. And so our square pizza, that's too big. There we go. Okay, our square pizza, 15. This is 16. 15 times 15 is going to have an area of 225. For this one, we have a diameter of 16, so we have a radius of 8. So we have pi times 8 squared, so we have 64 pi. And 64 pi, 64 times 3 is 200.96. Which one's bigger? Square. Excellent. Okay, how much more pizza do you get? So then I'm going to subtract 225 and 200.96, and it says round to the nearest hundredth, so I need to keep the 0.6, and so I get a grand total of 24.04. All right. Which has more crust? Well, so this is actually asking for circumference or perimeter. So 15 times 4 is 60. So this one has 60. Over here we have 16 times pi, which is not even close to 60.
50.24.
50.24. So then, therefore, the square has more crust. And how much more crust? Well, we have 60 minus 50.24, which would give you 9.76. Thank you. All right. Oh, I love this problem. We have a rocket. This is on the Rocket Man. Rocket Man.
9.76 for the last one.
All right, here we go. So we have three shapes. So we have a cylinder that we're trying to find the volume of, and the volume of a cylinder is going to be pi r squared h. So we have pi times the radius, which is 2, times the height, which is 10. So we have, that's 2 squared is 4, so we end up with 4d pi. And I'm going to keep it in terms of pi. Over here, we have volume is equal to pi r squared h. And the radius is now 4, so we have 16, because 4 times 4 is 16, times a height of 5, times pi. 16 times 5 is 90. No, it's 80. So we have 80 pi. And then up here we have the volume of a cone, which is 1/3 pi r squared h. So we have, again, 1/3 pi times 16 times new height of same height of 5. So we have 1/3 of 80. What is 1/3 of 80? Someone not named Zach. 26.6. All right. So we have 26.67 pi. So let's add all of those together. So we have 80 plus 40, which is 120. So we have 120 pi plus our 26.67 pi. So we get 146.67 pi. And now let's go ahead and multiply this times pi. And what do I get? 460.53 0.53 repeating. And that is in meters cubed. All right. So then, would you please get me to the screen that I want to get to? It's the far one. Thank you. I believe is 460, and it says round to the nearest tenth. All right.
So that'd be 0.5.
All right. Now,
No, it says 100.
oh, hundredth. I'm sorry. It does say around to the nearest hundredth. All right. Could you hit that button, please?